Hey there, Lala here. I've done a couple face shield tutorials for adults with baseball caps and eyeglasses, and today I want to show you some cute kid versions. I have a 2-year-old granddaughter who loves Minnie Mouse and a 4-year-old granddaughter who loves Frozen, so these are going to be their hat shields. For the eyeglass shields, you can either decorate one yourself, or if you want to do an easy version, you can get some really cute sunglasses and just put a shield on it and call it done. I got these at Walmart. They were on a rack with a whole bunch of sunglasses. They had some adorable ones that had Mario and Shark and Spider-Man and Moana, but this was my favorite, so that's the one I picked up. For this, if you have a kid who already wears glasses, then you could use those, but otherwise you need to get a pair of kids' sunglasses and pop the lenses out. I got everything to decorate this shield and do other designs from Dollar Tree, and all of them were on headbands like this. So we were going to do a butterfly garden version, but they really wanted mermaids, so even the hair came on a headband. I just pulled it off of here, cut it in half, and glued it to either side of the shield. Because we did this with a FaceTime call, because we obviously couldn't be together because of the coronavirus, I wasn't sure of the placement, so I just guessed for this, but hopefully if everybody stayed quarantined for the last 2 weeks, then we're going to get to see each other tomorrow on Mother's Day, and I can try this on my granddaughter. So with this one, I glued everything to a piece of shield, and then I can try it on her and get the right placement. Hopefully I'll have pictures of my granddaughters and their shields to share. The other things you need are 8.5 by 11 sheet of plastic and some hair bands. These are not standard size. These are for fine hair, so they're smaller. This is a regular size hairband. Not only is it too big, but it's too stretchy. These fine hair ones are really small and they're not nearly as stretchy. These will work great. You'll be able to get it on the shield off and on really easy. But if you don't want it to be able to come off easy, it's a little bit harder to get it on, but you might want to try these poly bands. You can get 500 for not much more than this little box of clear that has 75 in it, and this one has clear in it anyway, so you might want to go with this. Alright, let's jump over to the eyeglass tutorial and the hat tutorial. For the eyeglass shield, whether it's for kids' glasses or adult glasses, where you punch the holes on the plastic is exactly the same, and the way it attaches to the glasses is exactly the same. The first thing you need to do is mark where your holes are going to be punched. This hole configuration is important. If it's not just like this, the shield will slide down the glasses or it won't stay at the right angle, so it needs to be just like this. So the hole that's closest to the edges is 1/2 inch down and 1/2 inch in at the center. The lower hole that's further down is 1.5 inches in and 3/4 inch down at the center of the hole. So we're going to mark that on our shield on one side. And we're just marking the crosshairs because you'll get a more accurate place to punch if you just mark that. If you mark a dot or the round circle of the holes, it won't be as accurate. So fold your plastic in half, don't crease this end, and just to make sure things stay in place, because like I said, where you punch those is important. I want to be as accurate as possible, so I'm going to put clips on this. And then we're going to punch right where the crosshairs meet. And just round out these corners. You'll probably take more off the bottom of the shield, but for now, just to make it comfortable when you try it on, keep the corners round. And those marks come right off. Alright, so we talked about the elastic band and the poly band. And we're going to do one on each side. With your glasses facing the bottom of the shield and the arms facing the holes, put the elastic band in the bottom hole first, the hole that's closest to the center of the shield, and slide the arm through. Then just poke it through the top hole. And push the arm through that. And you can see this slides on and moves really easily. I'm going to slide it back down to put the other side on. Fold it down to put it on. And with this band, you have to kind of hold things in place a little better. Otherwise, it'll just bounce right back. We'll probably need to make this big so you can get it through. And then this one slides up, and this one takes a little more pushing and scooching. And just get them in about the same place on both sides, and it's just that easy. That's nice and secure. Now to take it off, you do the same thing. Bend it down towards the bottom of the shield and just roll these to the edges of the frames. Roll that one off and scooch that one off. And that's it. There's just a few simple steps. Take your 8.5 by 11 sheet of plastic and fold it in half without creasing this end. You're just bringing two corners together so you can punch holes at the same time. Using a standard hole punch, punch a hole about the same distance from both edges. The hole placement is not critical. Then you want to round out the other two corners. For the kids' shields, you'll probably be taking a lot more off of here, but round out the corners now just to make it comfortable while you try it on them. Now we need to mark the center line on our shield. So mark it on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and we'll use that. In previous tutorials, we folded this in half and gave it a little pinch to mark the center line. You can't do that with the tiny clip. It needs a really smooth surface to glue the clip on, and pinching it makes a bump. I'm just using a grease pencil to mark this center line because that'll wipe right off. And then fold that downward so when you do glue this on, the line's on the other side. Now you're going to take your Gorilla Glue, Super Glue, brush and nozzle. And with the brush side, wipe off the excess glue and just put a layer on the clip side, not on the shield. Then just place it at the top of the shield right on that center line. And you only need to hold it here for a few seconds, just long enough so that you can move this. You're going to let that sit overnight, and the next day you'll have a really strong bond. Now before we put the elastic on, I want to show you something. Some of these clips have really long levers and some of them have small ones. The pink ones happen to have long levers, so I took one of the short levers off my black one, and all you do is pinch that to take it off. It comes right off. But you'll see when I'm putting this on, you really need a shorter one on the bottom so that you don't have to crease your shield to use that lever. I'll show you that in just a minute. But we're ready for our elastic. If I was putting this on a boy's hat or a dark hat, I would just use a black piece of elastic. But I want you to see you can use a really wide piece and it'll still work. And I'm putting it on a pink hat anyway. So with a knot on one side, you'll go from the inside of the shield out. And you just fold that elastic in half and pull it through. Don't make your hole bigger. You just want to make sure you have a standard hole punch there. Then fold it again, and from the outside, in on this side. Pull it through enough so you can real easily make a simple knot. And then pull that back through. Now here's where you'll see why we like the small lever on the bottom. If you have a little bit longer lever, it's okay, but it might crease right there. But see, you really don't have much room to work with. On the top, it doesn't matter. You have all the room in the world to pinch that. So just squeeze both sides of your levers and put it on the center of the hat. And then you'll just fold those back and pull your elastic over. Now the only reason you can really tell that's a binder clip is because the lever's there. And because you probably don't want the kids to mess with the levers, I like to pinch that and just take it off. And you can pinch the other side and do the same thing. They come off really easy. If you want to save those so that you can put them off and on a hat or switch it to a different hat, you can do that. But otherwise, that is it. Thanks for watching. I hope this is a fun project for you and your kids or your grandkids. Bye now.